Confidence. It's more than what you know. It's having the right information at the right time, developing the right strategy for your business, providing the right solutions for your people, seeing the right vision for your future, and knowing when to seek the right expertise. When you have knowledge, you have confidence. Doing business the Gallagher way since 1927.
In Marietta, Georgia, and for those of you watching us in Scotland and the United Kingdom, a very special good evening to you. We are very honored to be with you and present this unique friendly today between Atlanta United and Aberdeen. I'm Mike Conti, joined by Jason Longshore. We are the broadcast commentators for Atlanta United here in the United States, and it's a unique opportunity, I think, for both clubs today, Jason. Aberdeen conducting a brief training camp here in Atlanta. They'll break camp on Monday, and then their players will be off for 10 days before the Scottish League resumes in December. Atlanta United today deploying players mainly from their USL side, the second division here in the United States, and a number of academy players as well.
Yeah, a couple of bits of housekeeping to keep in mind with this one today. Atlanta United, no players under MLS contract are able to play in this. The CBA has some restrictions on off-season training and things like that. So the players for Atlanta United are members of Atlanta United 2 and academy players, a number of exciting prospects on the Atlanta United side. For Aberdeen, a number of exciting prospects as well. Quite a few members of their U18s are with the team here in Atlanta. They have a number of absences due to this international period. They have a number of players who are away with Scottish youth national teams, but also with other national teams who are playing some friendlies before the World Cup kicks off.
Well, we like to say here in the United States that this is football weather, American football weather. It is deep into late autumn here in Marietta, Georgia, and the weather is more reminiscent of maybe an early fall day in Scotland than what we would typically have here in the southeastern United States. Very breezy with temperatures in the low 40s Fahrenheit, so it is a very brisk, raw afternoon, but no rain, and the playing conditions on this artificial surface should be fairly benign. As you get a look at a familiar face, if you watch Major League Soccer, that's Christian Ramirez, formerly of Houston Dynamo, who then went to Aberdeen and really flourished initially after coming over from the United States.
Yeah, 15 goals last season in all competitions, Christian Ramirez, but he played 18 months straight. First half of the MLS season in 21, and then straight into Europa Conference League action with Aberdeen in July of 21. I think all those games and miles on his legs wore him down as the year went on. This year, 3 goals and 1 assist in all competitions, 10 appearances for Aberdeen. He'll be up top today.
The referee is Alexander Zeliazkov. This crew in charge of the match today from the Atlanta area. Atlanta United wearing the black kits today, and Aberdeen wearing the white.
I'll kind of talk you through the lineups as we go, as players get involved. For Atlanta United, look out for number 37 in the midfield, Johnny Vial, back from Mexico's U18 national team.
That's Kofi Tumasi back passing to Sebastian Guerra, and this is a new name for Atlanta United, playing as goalkeeper today, someone with a big club pedigree who's getting an interesting chance to play a meaningful match today.
A product of the Atlético Nacional program in Colombia. It's been his last season with Valledupar in Colombia.
35-year-old Joe Lewis, the goalkeeper for Aberdeen, and now this is Jack Milne. That is intercepted by Matthew Brick and sent ahead to Jonathan Vial. Now Alan Carlton, and that is Noah Cobb sweeping it to Brick.
Cobb will be with Atlanta United on an MLS contract next season as a homegrown. He had a great year with Atlanta United 2 this year. He's still only 17 years old.
Kofi Tumasi on the ball now.
Tumasi, the oldest player Atlanta United has on the pitch in the roster today, 26. He's played locally with KSA Pro profile, but he also has experience in the lower divisions in Belgium and Germany.
Alan Carlton going over the top for Luke Brennan. Luke Brennan with a chance for Atlanta United. Sabatu, big save, Joe Lewis. And it's out for a corner.
Big save from Lewis, who gets over to his left quickly there. We get another look. The ball over the top to Brennan was excellent, but Brennan couldn't find that separation. Spins it back around and creates the opportunity out of it for Sabatu.
So this will be Matthew Brick, the 17-year-old, committed to Clemson for next year, sending it in for Atlanta United. Cleared off the head of Hayden Colson, then the shot back in by Emenike, and Aberdeen clears.
Emenike just didn't catch that one cleanly. He's got a cannon on that half volley from the top of the 18, but he didn't catch that one.
Foul earned by Vinny Basayan, the 21-year-old from Bogota, Colombia, who has dual citizenship with Holland.
Basayan, 7 goals this season in all competitions for Aberdeen. Atlanta United aggressive. They create the turnover once again.
Vial. That's intercepted by Marley Watkins, 32-year-old. Last played for Cardiff City. Morris. And that'll run out for goal kick. There are some supporters here today at the training ground watching this match. These are Aberdeen supporters.
That's a great opportunity for Aberdeen supporters in the U.S. who are in the Southeast or maybe wanted to make a trip to Atlanta to see their team on this opportunity that, look, it's unique with the World Cup being where it is in the calendar, but it's a huge opportunity to kind of make some connections as Aberdeen and Atlanta United are here.
Noah Cobb with a big tackle with Guerra roaming off his line. Aberdeen plays on with Leighton Clarkson, the 21-year-old. Clarkson earns a foul.
Remy Okunlola late with the tackle there. Okunlola also headed to Clemson. Both of the fullbacks for Atlanta United are headed to university in the fall. They'll be here through the rest of this calendar year, early next year. Likely will play a good bit with Atlanta United too in the first half of next season.
Jack Milne spotting up near the penalty spot for Aberdeen. Marley Watkins could be a target as well.
Gotta watch number 5 Milne at 6'4". He's got to be a target here. Ramirez on the backside of the play.
They go to the near post where it is cleared by Brick.
This isn't a big Atlanta United side today. Vial, good ball to Sabatu.
Atlanta in the counter action. Here is Vial. Carlton. Up in the play now is Okunlola. Carlton again. Jonathan Vial, the 17-year-old. Out of the tackle of Clarkson, and here is a cross that's smothered at the near post by Lewis.
What a ball from Johnny Vial. So quick with the ball at his feet, and he has that vision to hit those passing lanes. Vial is definitely one to watch long-term for Atlanta United. Like I said before, he's already been part of a couple of camps with Mexico's U18 national team.
It'll be a throw to Aberdeen as that was played up to Marley Watkins. Shaden Morris, the 20-year-old, acquired last August from Fleetwood Town, to throw it in for Aberdeen.
Yeah, 10 games this season in all competitions. Morris, he's one I wanted to get a better look at today. Incredible pace, but can he create in the final third?
Cobb clears. It seems like Vial is causing the most disruption right now on the part of Atlanta United.
Vial's a handful. I'm waiting to see how Aberdeen deals with him. Are they going to try to close him down a little bit quicker? Because right now, Johnny Vial is getting a lot of time on the ball to pick out those passes.
Jack McKenzie for Aberdeen to Milne. Watkins tackled away by Brick. Foul on Emenike. Jack Collison is in charge of Atlanta United today as we look at the entanglement. I believe it was Emenike on the second swipe that earned the foul. Jack Collison is in charge of Atlanta United today. He manages Atlanta United's second team in the second division of professional soccer in the United States, although next year that team will play in MLS Next Pro out of the USL Championship.
Had some good-natured banter with Jack earlier today as Wales and the U.S. will be playing on Monday, so the trash talking has already started here at Atlanta United.
So Guerra playing way off his line here in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you get a sense of the kind of goalkeepers that Atlanta United likes. They want goalkeepers who can play with the ball at their feet. Guerra just comfortable with the ball outside of his 18, in possession, helping to build up the play.
That is Kennedy earning a throw for Aberdeen.
Matty Kennedy, just such a versatile player across the front line for Aberdeen.
McCrory being chased. Lewis has to make a play. That is outstanding hustle.
Sabatu just causing problems with his pace up top and relentless pressure. More pressure from Brennan.
And that'll be an Atlanta United throw, flicked wide of Vinny Basayan.
Jack Collison's going to be really pleased with this start. It's the energy that he wants out of his teams. He wants them, when they have the ball, to have some patience, to find the right pass, to create good opportunities. But when they're out of possession, he wants them to be aggressive. He wants them to step up high. He wants them to create the turnovers. Now they've dropped into a little bit more of a mid-block. They're trying to create a trap in the middle third. Going to see if they can direct the play where they'd like. Aberdeen's got to play through it.
Morris. And Emenike goes through the back of Clarkson.
Kind of got what they wanted there, but overly aggressive from Emenike. Came into Atlanta this year for the first time. Still a little raw as a tactical player, but I like the individual skill that Emenike has. And really the biggest thing for him is settling on a position, because he's played as a fullback. He's also played as a holding midfielder.
Kennedy playing this up to Coulson. Thrown into Kennedy. Matty Kennedy, the 28-year-old from Northern Ireland. Marley Watkins now. Leighton Clarkson pulling it back from Vial. Attack continues now for Aberdeen as it's swept into the corner by Clarkson. And the cross, punched by Guerra, went through the back of his teammate Cobb to do so, and play is halted for fear of an injury to Cobb.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that Guerra got or Cobb got. Cobb's back on his feet quickly. It's going to be a drop ball back. Referee blew the whistle to make sure that wasn't a head injury. Yeah, it's a friendly. I mean, you have to be careful in those situations. Anything you're worried about, you're going to go ahead and blow the whistle and make sure everybody's all right.
Good run by Kennedy and a shot over the crossbar. First shot of the match for Aberdeen. Goal kick to Atlanta United. Guerra is 21 years old, and that is almost accidentally put back into his own net on the block by Kennedy. Ramirez, excuse me.
You like to have goalkeepers who can play out of the back, but not making these kinds of mistakes. That's a ball you just cannot risk there through the middle. Mishit. Ramirez almost with a goal that don't think would have made his highlight reel. take it all the same. Atlanta United now in the middle third.
Ross McCrory committing a foul off the goal kick. This is Emenike. Luke Brennan dropping it back to Brick. Noah Cobb. To Masi. That's going to deflect to Ramirez. Jack McKenzie. McCrory. Another touch for Joe Lewis here. Flicked forward by Marley Watkins in the direction of Ramirez. Dug away by Shaden Morris, and here's a chance now for Ramirez. Played into the middle and tackled away at the penalty spot by Akinlola. It'll be a throw to Aberdeen.
That's where you see some of the differences in experience, but also physicality between these two teams on the pitch today. This is a far more experienced Aberdeen side, and they trapped Matthew Brick, creating the turnover. And some indecision in the back. Guerra and Okunlola not on the same page. Atlanta United able to dodge the bullet.
Off the foul by Shaden Morris. Atlanta United playing quickly with Vial. Morris has that taken away by Brick.
That's excellent from Brick. Stepping up to win that back.
Here's Vial. Anike squaring to Brick. Cobb. Carlton.
What a turn from Alan Carlton. Like the little hesitation.
Carlton, a hopeful ball up in the direction of Sabatu, but turned over.
It's the transition moments where Aberdeen can really punish this young Atlanta side.
In the middle for Leighton Clarkson. Up ahead to Marley Watkins, and it's cleaned by Guerra.
Good off his line. Guerra that time. Read it well. No hesitation coming off of his line on that through ball. Slightly overhit. But Guerra, without any hesitation, gets on it.
Back the other way, Bain Smith with a chance now for Atlanta United. Squares it right into the boots of Jack McKenzie. Aberdeen will attempt to counter now with Clarkson. Kennedy. Kennedy going long over the top, looking for Basayan. Ramirez making a run down the central channel. Basayan instead will play backwards. Kennedy again. And with the offside flag up, Guerra off his line to claim it comfortably.
Just wave the flag off and continue to play. Okunlola caught up forward just a little bit that time. That's really the challenge for these young Atlanta players, is being locked in mentally in the transition moments.
Sabatu. Alan Carlton. To Masi. I'll go down the middle looking for Sabatu. It's overhit, and Joe Lewis will claim that.
Milne had that covered really well on Sabatu. Milne, the 19-year-old, developed in Aberdeen. A player who has kind of made the transition from a holding midfielder to a center back. When you're 6'4", that's pretty likely going to happen.
Good work here by Aberdeen, but that ball over the top rolls to Guerra. Feels like the possession has worked its way more into a 50-50 split here in the last few moments.
Yeah, it was a good opening 10 minutes or so from Atlanta, but you know, when you're a young team and you don't get anything out of that 10 minutes of control, you know, your focus dips just a little bit. And Aberdeen, they've been through these moments before. They ride out the storm and they start to take more control of this. Just the difference in experience levels in this one. It's a really good test today.
Foul on Masi, taking down Ramirez. And the physio staff will have a look at Christian Ramirez.
We'll get another look at this one as well. Sliding challenge from Kofi Twumasi. He's late to it. Alexander Zelyazkov with really no hesitation to show the yellow card. The lateness of the challenge is really the big reason for the yellow. I couldn't tell if the studs were exposed or caught him there. But Ramirez in a good bit of pain.
And you see Tumasi clearly remorseful for that, patting him on the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a friendly. I mean, both teams are going to go hard because you have to in these moments. There's a lot of players with a lot to prove on both sides, on both rosters. You'll see it in the second half as well. You have to go hard in these moments, but nobody's looking for an injury to happen.
Ramirez, 31 years old, from Garden Grove, California. Really flourished initially after coming over from Houston Dynamo to Aberdeen, but really difficult situation for him coming over at the end of the MLS season into the start of the Scottish season, and essentially had to play 18 months uninterrupted.
Yeah, midseason in MLS, because he played through, I guess, the beginning of July with Houston, and then made the move and went straight into Europa Conference League qualifying rounds with Aberdeen. So it wears on you a little bit. I think it wears on you both physically and mentally if you're Christian Ramirez. It's a player that, I feel like he's older than 31 because I've seen him for so long. He broke in as a pro at a really young age with Minnesota United and was a star in the second division before making the move with Minnesota up to the first division level.
Aberdeen will play 10v11 for the moment. They have not substituted for Ramirez, who loosens up on the touchline.
Yeah, if there's any concerns that he won't continue, they'd love to probably get 45 minutes out of him today.
Meanwhile, Atlanta United coming up with possession.
Good work to create that turnover. I've been really impressed with the defensive side of the ball for Atlanta United today. Very well organized.
Bean Smith, 17-year-old from Duluth, Georgia. Emenike. Vial, back to Emenike. Carlton. Noah Cobb. Knocked out for a throw by Marley Watkins.
Ramirez back on for Aberdeen.
And that's going to be Alan Carlton. Bouncing ball cleaned up by Cobb and then sent forward and out by Colson. Throw to Atlanta United. We're in the 20th minute. This is a standard 90-minute friendly. Sabatu really hustling and providing some pressure in Aberdeen's half as Lewis sends that to Tumasi. Jack McKenzie.
McKenzie's a player I've really liked. He just re-upped with Aberdeen through 2025. A young left-footed fullback. Good on the ball.
This chance starting on a good ball by Milne. It's Basayan. Knocked down to the penalty spot. Clarkson, and the save made by Guerra. The flag has come up, but play continues.
Yeah, I think the flag was up for the rebound possibility. Aberdeen player down behind the play. Back to his feet now.
That is Basayan. Meanwhile, it's a throw to Atlanta United.
Yeah, you saw the quality of Milne with that initial ball. The header back across, trying to create the opportunity from the spot. Guerra gets down, gives up a rebound maybe you're not super happy with, but they're able to clean it up. I think the flag would have prevented any kind of rebound shot there. I think it was a player on the backside who was offside on the initial shot.
Good ball by Guerra up to Vial. Up ahead to Sabatu. Again overhit.
Just not quite connecting that time, Vial. Just a little overhit for Sabatu. Great turn from Morris.
Marley Watkins. That's flicked to Leighton Clarkson.
Fancy footwork from Matty Kennedy.
The Scion now for Aberdeen. Up ahead towards Watkins. Garrett again off his line, playing bravely and claiming it.
Sebastian Guerra getting a lot of action here today. Get another look at him coming off his line. He's come off his line very well without hesitation. That's been the number one thing that stood out to me about Guerra today.
This is down the middle again with the flag up. The ball played for Watkins. Free kick to Atlanta United.
Got that step in behind. Could have called the push in the back on Cobb. Really like the awareness of Noah Cobb in that situation. He steps up to catch Watkins offside, but also draws some contact to where the referee has their choice of how they want to blow that one dead. Nice ball for Guerra.
I was going to say, it finds the boots of Luke Brennan. Down the middle to Sabatu.
Great work by Sabatu.
Akinlola now. Akinlola with the cross to Sabatu. Caught, though, by Joe Lewis.
Sabatu's been very, very impressive today. Love to see him get an opportunity to find the back of the net, but everything off the ball, everything defensively in the build-up phase has been very good from Daniel Sabatu.
Good work by Brennan to play that to Carlton. They'll go down the middle for Bain Smith. Rolls to Sabatu. That shot blocked off the back of Matty Kennedy. Then popped back in the direction of Kennedy by Leighton Clarkson.
Sabatu might have forced that one. He might have hurt us up here. Trying to get on the back of the net, force that shot.
And here is a transition foul against Emenike.
A little bit of a warning as well from our referee. Good first half to the first half from Atlanta United.
I think it's felt like an even match. Both teams have had moments. Brennan tangles up here with Morris. Brennan comes out of there with it.
Spins away with it, though. Brennan really impressed late in the USL Championship season for Atlanta United, too. Earned a call-up to the US U19 national team camp. Brennan's definitely one to watch.
Be all unable to get to that. Matty Kennedy countering for Aberdeen. Bumped by Tumasi. Tumasi is able to clear for a throw.
Tumasi so strong in that. Player's just bouncing off of him, but then the pass doesn't connect. Turns it back over. Milne.
Intercepted. That is Emenike sending it up towards Brennan. Good recovery, though, by Marley Watkins. Over the head of Ramirez to Cobb. Alan Carlton. Emenike. Stolen by Matty Kennedy.
So it's final connections. A lot of these Atlanta United players have played together in various teams, either in academy teams or with Atlanta United too, but this entire collection has not played together ever.
Ramirez, nice work, knocking that down to Kennedy. Okunlola has to make a play and does.
Strong 1v1 defending by Okunlola.
Carlton then turns it over to Kennedy. But it is going to be Bain Smith rolling that up to the half line. McCrory.
Game's gotten completely disjointed at the moment.
Jack
Aberdeen
McKenzie.
trying to settle it.
Kennedy. Matty Kennedy. Attack continues. The cross canceled out at the edge of the 18 by Tumasi. Played back to Ramirez. Deflects at the edge of the 6, and that is a good saving tackle to clear by Brick. Luke Brennan. Jonathan Vial fouled by Leighton Clarkson.
Smart from Vial to draw that contact. Matthew Brick, maybe the most impressive on the back line for Atlanta United today. I think that initial play took a deflection as it was coming across, but it took it away from Guerra, and Brick, so necessary to get on that.
Vial, a little behind Sabatu.
I like that Vial's continuing to try to make that play, though. He's not getting simple with it. He's not, kind of hesitant to try to make that final ball or beat that player on the dribble. You have to have that short-term memory if you're a creator, if you're a forward. You've got to continue to try to make those chances happen.
That's really nice work by Basayan, playing it to Shaden Morris. Basayan down behind the play. Morris, meanwhile, cleared by Atlanta United. Run down by Kennedy. Matty Kennedy coming forward. Up ahead to Morris again. Goal kick.
It's going to be a corner. It took a deflection on the initial ball out to Morris. Wasn't going to be able to run it down, so it's going to be a corner here. These are the moments that Atlanta United will struggle a bit with the big size difference.
Well, Aberdeen had a set piece earlier this half from just outside the 18 out of the corner that Atlanta United actually dealt with pretty well, but this will be the first true corner they've had to defend in the match.
You hear that wind picking up a little bit too, and it's kind of going to blow this towards the goal. Might float a little bit because it's going to be an outswinger on the delivery. This could be tricky for Guerra to deal with. I want to see how aggressive he is.
Service by Kennedy, punched by Guerra, and cleared by Alan Carlton.
Good from Guerra, he passes the test.
And now a chance for Vial. McKenzie had to back pass to Lewis. Match kind of wide open at the moment now as Bean Smith comes forward for Atlanta United. Okunlola. Good tackle in the corner by Jack McKenzie, and it earns a throw for Aberdeen.
Yeah, tackled it back off of Okunlola. Love the overlap from Remy getting forward there, and Smith holding it up, knowing the overlap's coming. But Jack McKenzie, with experience in the Scottish Premiership, he's able to read that so well and get the tackle in.
Kennedy. Cleared by McKenzie. I think the wind probably carried that out for a throw.
See, the wind is kind of coming and going just a little bit. It's a little awkward at times.
Blustery here in Marietta, Georgia.
There you go.
Again, a good tackle by McKenzie in a duel with Bean Smith. At the end line, here's Colson. Savvy by McKenzie to draw the foul.
Yeah, that's so smart. Again, that's the experience. Smith, a player who's really impressed with the Atlanta Unite teams. This is a big opportunity for him, kind of up a level than we've seen with him. He hasn't played for Atlanta United too. He gets caught there a little bit by the experienced McKenzie.
That's going to glance all the way down the touchline past Clarkson. Aberdeen with the throw. Scoreless match, 31st minute. We're going to have our first substitution here. And Basayan, who has been knocked down a couple times in the first half, is coming off here for Duke, the 22-year-old.
You hear the Aberdeen fans cheering for Duke. Duke's an interesting one. He developed at Benfica, got to their B team, made the move to Aberdeen, and he's become a fan favorite. 8 goals and 5 assists in all competitions this year.
That's cleared by Okunlola. Sabatu. Oh boy, Sabatu, what a play to roll that up to Vial.
Timed it perfectly. Great sliding challenge there to take it away from Vial.
It looked like a very promising counter developing for Atlanta United. Now they'll try again with Noah Cobb.
That was Milne recovering, and he had to get that tackle right on Vial. If not, he's getting a yellow card. Timed it perfectly.
Emenike flaring it to Brennan. And that is behind Vial and run down by Leighton Clarkson. Clarkson going long over the top for Watkins, but it's picked off by Brennan.
A good positioning by Brick. Staying back and making sure after the turnover he didn't get caught. That long diagonal, Brick was perfectly placed to deal with it.
Cobb. We'll try to bounce it up to Brennan, and that connects.
Good ball from Cobb.
Luke Brennan now dribbling on Milne. Brennan with the cross, punched up in the air by McCrory. Vial now getting just enough of it though, McCrory. And then McCrory earning a foul and a booking on Emenike.
Vial wanted to cut that back to his left and get the shot. It was tackled away from him. And then Emenike breaks it up, as we'll see here. The tail end of it catches McCrory. Overly ambitious there from Emenike, not able to close that ground and get there without committing the foul. It was really close for Vial though at the top of the 18. The first touch was absolutely brilliant, and he's trying to just get that back to his left. Well read and tackled away.
Lewis hasn't had to do a whole lot from a shot-stopping standpoint to this point. It's knocked away from Ramirez on a good play by Tumasi, but then taken right back by Morris. Morris is crossed, though, overhit for Duke.
Brick
now they're going to bring
late.
this back for a foul outside the 18 on Brick.
Yeah, that's what made that cross sail. Brick got caught in possession, turned it over, and then makes it more difficult now as you have to defend the set piece. Late sliding challenge, catches Morris from behind. Brick's been very good today, but he's still very young, and you have those moments where the game just kind of gets away from you a little bit.
So Kennedy from just outside the 18 for Aberdeen. Carlton and Vial make up the wall. Now Vial peels off. So Carlton, the one-man wall. Kennedy flicked into the corner towards Leighton Clarkson.
Okunlola got ahead to that.
That deflects to the edge of the 6. It's going to bounce right into the goal mouth now to Clarkson. Digs it off the end line and plays it back to Kennedy. Another cross. That is deflected off Milne over the crossbar.
Incredible juggling to almost walk that into the goal. The shot never quite comes off as Hayden Colson almost juggled his way into the net.
Aberdeen really on the front foot now. Morris squaring to Clarkson. Good defensive play. Okunlola on the far touchline and earning a foul.
I love the fight in these young Atlanta United players because they're going to be mistakes. Okunlola has made a few. Brick's made one recently. You're going to have turnovers. You're going to have moments where you get caught, but they're always fighting back. You don't see those heads drop, and you don't see them kind of check out mentally.
Carlton tried to play that to Brennan. It's picked off, though, by Morris. Jack Milne now. Vial chasing. Watkins. And it does not find the boots of Duke. Instead, it's Tumasi. And cleared by Guerra.
Tumasi's been really impressive. I've typically seen him play in a midfield role playing as a center back today. He's been quite good.
Yeah, that was great work there by Bain Smith, earning a foul.
Smith really growing into the game.
Smith, 17 years old, from Providence Christian Academy.
Yeah, part of the U19 team for Atlanta United that plays in the UPSL Georgia division, just won their division in the regular season. They've got the playoffs coming up in December. Typically plays on the left side and cuts in on his right foot. Today he's playing as a more traditional right winger.
Cobb doing a good job to roll that to Vial, who then is chopped down by Kennedy.
What have you thought of Vial? I know it's really one of the first times you've had a chance to see him.
Like him.
So technical, so talented in 1v1s.
He's a pest. He asks a lot of questions. He's disruptive. He's someone that you're glad he's on your team and not the opposition. If he were on the opposition, he would probably really annoy you.
Kind of has a little bit of that Luciano Acosta.
Yeah, very much so. And maybe I'm thinking only of his size. Luciano Acosta, for those of you watching in Scotland, Acosta, diminutive player who has played for a couple different clubs in Major League Soccer, most recently for Cincinnati, but someone who always plays at a very high level against Atlanta United. Here's Vial again.
Keeps finding space.
There's a promising attack here. Okunlola playing it up to Bain Smith. I think McKenzie wanted that to roll for a throw, and now the AR has got to make a decision, and it's going to be goal kick.
McKenzie did enough. Okunlola just a little overhit. I'm excited in the second 45. I would assume we're going to see a lot of changes from both teams. I'm excited to see a lot of these young Aberdeen players who made the trip. Alfie Bavidge is someone that anytime you have 5 hat tricks in a U18 season, I want to see you play. I want to see what Bavidge has. Expecting to see him. He's going to wear the number 9 today.
16-year-old Alfie Bavidge. Matty Kennedy now for Aberdeen. Good run by Kennedy, but again, it is Guerra off his line to collect that.
A little bit of extracurriculars as well. But Matty Kennedy starting to cause some problems for Atlanta United in that central midfield. Guerra quickly off his line again. That's been really the number one thing from him today, is his fearlessness.
Decisiveness, too.
Yeah.
No indecision by him. Good play by Milne to win the aerial. There's McCrory coming forward now. Duke. Clarkson. Play back to Clarkson now. Good tackle at the edge of the 18 to clear by Noah Cobb.
That last sequence, it's something that Aberdeen has in their locker when they want to break that out, with McCrory stepping forward. His experience playing in the midfield, he can join the attack.
Kennedy's shot blocked by Cobb.
And he's tripped up too. It's going to be a free kick for Aberdeen. On a blustery day, Noah Cobb's going to feel that one a little extra. But Kennedy was tripped up. Kennedy is just so quick on the ball.
Well, what say you, Mr. Longshore? Opportunity here maybe for Kennedy or Duke to go directly to goal here?
Yeah, Kennedy is the one that I would think would be going for this.
He's claiming it.
Duke steps off to create a little bit of a secondary wall. They're going to clear out space. Kennedy's going to try to put it between the two Aberdeen players to the right of the Atlanta wall. Guerra looks to have that covered, though. Could be a diversion. Let's see what Kennedy does.
He goes right forward and off a deflection. It's caught by Guerra.
Yeah, he tries to go over the top of the wall. It was a diversion there. You have the two players off to the side. You think that's where the shot's going to go through. He goes over the wall instead. Not enough pace on it, though, to beat Guerra.
I thought I heard it take a deflection, but maybe it did not. I thought I heard a thud,
maybe very slight. Maybe that took some of the pace of it off.
Ooh. Now here's Lewis caught off his line, played into danger by McKenzie, but Lewis has it.
I think Sabatu might have gotten a touch to that, but not enough to get around Lewis to the outside.
That is Duke, spun down and fouled by Emenike. No, the foul's on Duke, excuse me.
Duke commits the foul, dragged Emenike down. Opportunity for Vial.
Carlton now. Picked off near the penalty spot and cleared by Morris. Cobb sends it forward. Knocked down by Kennedy. Ramirez can't get there. Sure, for the Aberdeen fans, supporters watching around the world and in the UK, glad to see Ramirez moving around all right.
Yeah, he's
taking a knock.
Okay. He's looked okay after that initial challenge.
Vial again. No trouble spinning away from Milne. Sabatu then loses it to McCrory. Played back to him by Watkins. Here's McCrory and a pitch-perfect tackle by Cobb.
Cobb's been excellent. Cobb will challenge for minutes with Atlanta United next year in MLS. He was a really strong player in preseason last year at 16 years old. Followed that up by captaining Atlanta United to quite a bit this past summer.
Morris, and that's going to be blocked out for a corner by Matthew Brick.
Saw it again in that last sequence, though, that creates this opportunity for Aberdeen. McCrory stepping forward, flipping the field for Aberdeen. Doesn't always get the headlines, Ross McCrory. He might be the most important player in kind of dictating the way Aberdeen plays at times.
Kennedy. And Atlanta United's out of traffic with Vial now. Vial.
So great from Johnny Vial.
Kind of floats away from Okunlola. He'll dig for the second ball now. Trouble here for Aberdeen, but they are able to break pressure, at least momentarily. Emenike flicks that back to Brick. Carlton now.
Vial tried to make the run in behind, but Carlton couldn't get the pass off quickly enough.
Emenike. Cobb. Tumasi. Carlton. Tumasi again. And again, this is Guerra, who's been consistently playing about 25 yards off his line.
In build-up, he's comfortable playing there. He's a field player when Atlanta United's in possession.
Well, a collision. Okunlola and Colson both go down.
Inadvertent there as both players go up for the header. We'll take another look.
I think they bang heads.
Yeah, Colson comes through and I think gets there first, but head-to-head collision with Remy Okunlola and Hayden Colson. Maybe more of a glancing nature, hopefully more of a glancing nature.
But a little bit of a football accident here right at the end of the first half. We'll see if they elect to put any time on here. If they do not, I would imagine if they're not, they will go to halftime.
Yeah, I think Zelyaskov actually asked both teams, like, you want to go ahead and stop it here. Let's go to the break.
I would say Jack Collison's got to be fairly pleased with that.
Jack Collison will be ecstatic with the way his young team performed because, look, you look at the experience level between the two, and even though it's a little bit of a mixed bag for Aberdeen, you have players with significant experience in the Scottish Premiership. And with Atlanta United, too, it's not even fully Atlanta United, too. It's a lot of academy players because of injuries, because of illness, because of some unavailable players. They've looked very organized, very well coached. A lot of strong play from young players, made mistakes, bounced back quickly. For Aberdeen, look, second 45, I think we're going to see a lot of those young players who have made the trip, guys who could be that next breakthrough when they get back to Scotland. Maybe players who don't play this season in the Premiership, but players who could be part of Aberdeen for years to come. Both teams looking at a lot of young talent today.
The supporters will warm up with some hot cocoa and apple cider.
Get me some.
It's halftime here in Marietta, Georgia. Scoreless between Atlanta United and Aberdeen. We'll be back.
Confidence. It's more than what you know. It's having the right information at the right time. Developing the right strategy for your business. Providing the right solutions for your people. Seeing the right vision for your future. And knowing when to seek the right expertise. When you have knowledge, you have confidence. Doing business the Gallagher way since 1927.
Yeah, Carlin, I would change yours up. Yeah, there's a button on the bottom that it should release the battery and it comes straight down. Yeah, you might have to if the plate's in the way. Pat's coming over there with a battery. He should be coming that way. $159. Do you want me to kill it for this little time period or not? Okay, okay. All right, cool. All right. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna fight it anymore, to be honest. Like, I mean, if it's ridiculous that it should already been handled. I mean, that's the problem. And I don't want y'all to, like, don't worry about me and Brendan. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like y'all are good to. I mean, y'all do y'all thing, but. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But yeah, I mean, like I said, hey, it's up to you, brother. It's only $60. It's only $60 with this other team, dog. $60, bro, to get in that league and to get a jersey and all that stuff and insurance, and that's what it was split up between everybody. It was $60. We practice out of cast. Yeah, talk to him about y'all. Talk to him about John. I said Luke's a good little ball handler. I said Cade's a big guy. I said, and he doesn't miss layups. Oh, dude, I'm telling you right now that Cade and Luke get on this team with us, and they're instantly the 3 best players. Now, granted, there's two decent players, but they're all just, and that's what I'm saying. And we're gonna be playing against like these up north teams, you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be like the Northeast College Basketball League. It won't. It'll be a step above rec, but not all the way up to the Northeast College Basketball League. Right. And if you ever needs a ride, I got him. Anything like that. So. Yeah. Well, that's the Parks and Rec doing that, though. They said grab another parent from the team. Yeah. We had it all situated and set up, and they just ripped the carpet right out from underneath us. We were about to be champions at 10U. All right, man. Like I said, if not, it's not a huge deal. I'm just giving y'all that invite. If y'all don't want to be in that situation, you can just, just come step into this one, and it's only $60. So. Yep.
We are back for the second half of this friendly between Atlanta United and Aberdeen here at Atlanta United's training ground in Marietta, Georgia. For those of you watching across the pond in Scotland and the UK, we hope you're having a very pleasant evening. It was interesting during the half, Jason, kind of scrolling through Twitter a little bit. And
that can be dangerous, Mike.
No, well, yes. No matter where you are in the world, it can be dangerous. But it seemed as though there was, on the part of some of the Aberdeen viewers, maybe a little bit of a concern that Atlanta United's young, mainly academy players, were pretty even with this Aberdeen group in the first half.
Yeah, friendlies can be tough to kind of get up for. You know, the Aberdeen side traveled on Monday, and they're playing today. And look, you're about to go into a break. You're not trying to get hurt in a situation like this. But as we mentioned before, there's a number of players on both sides who have an opportunity in front of them to make an impression. And that's what has to really drive this here in the second half. We do have one change for Aberdeen. Adam Emsley checking in. The 17-year-old winger will play on the left side.
Meanwhile, I noticed Tristan Traeger is on for Atlanta United to begin the second half. Traeger was a super draft pick out of the Air Force Academy. Traeger's been dealing with a little bit of an illness, and we weren't expecting to see him today, but he is on, and that appears to be the only change for Atlanta United.
Traeger will play on the right side. He's played up top a lot with two forwards for Atlanta United, paired up with Jackson Conway. But he's going to play off to the right side. Traeger has electric pace on that side.
I believe he is on for Bain Smith. Meanwhile, Marley Watkins now for Aberdeen to Morris. And that is intercepted and cleared by Atlanta United. And here is Jonathan Vial. Rolled into the run of Sabatu. Free kick to Aberdeen, and now we have McCrory and Sabatu going at it here in the 46th minute.
Yeah, I think the feet just got tangled up from them. See if we can get another look at it, but looked like their feet just got tangled up. I don't think Sabatu's trying to do anything there. He's just trying to run with McCrory. McCrory very frustrated with the contact from behind. Didn't look like he kicked out at him or anything, though. Sabatu just going about his business, not really getting too upset about it. Luke Brennan came in to defend him a bit. Got a little chippy towards the end of the first half. We'll see if that continues here in the second 45.
I think the referee, Alexander Zelyaskov, has done a good job managing that.
Yeah, in a friendly, you're not really trying to throw cards around a lot. You don't want to send anybody off. You have to kind of talk to people and calm them down. You have to manage the game with your personality a bit more.
Sabatu very nearly stole that. Here's Jack McKenzie dropping it to McCrory. Tries to go up to Marley Watkins. Be a throw to Aberdeen. Morris dropping it into Duke. Kennedy now. Morris. And that cross is blocked out by Brick for a throw.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the first half about McCrory. I really think he is one of the most important pieces for Aberdeen as they'll get back into league play after the World Cup break.
Awkward bounce here as it rolls off Okunlola, and Atlanta United's out of danger.
Some handball shouts. Don't think Okunlola had the arm out extended.
Good idea by Traeger, looking to hook up with Luke Brennan, but it was picked off by Morris. Joe Lewis has not been busy from a shot-stopping perspective in this friendly yet. It's Noah Cobb winning that over Duke. Duke, though, on the second ball, flicking to Kennedy. Milne, I thought, one of the stronger players for Aberdeen in the first half, drives that out for a throw.
Milne and Kennedy really stood out to me, and on the Atlanta side, Vial was the main one but also in Manike in that holding midfield.
Jack McKenzie. Hayden Coulson. Ross McCrory. McCrory. Tackled off it by Brick cleanly. Now play halted.
Brick was stepped on, I think, in the follow through from McCrory. When Ross McCrory takes off on those dribbling runs, he just unbalances the opponent. Matthew Brick came across to make that tackle. I think was caught by McCrory, who catches a yellow card for it as well. A little bit of a receipt, even though it wasn't Brick who got tangled up with him. It was Sabatu. But McCrory, I honestly think he's trying to kind of motivate his side, lead by example a bit. The intensity has to pick up from Aberdeen here in the second 45.
Lewis coming way off his line before Brennan can get there. Thought Atlanta United was the better side in the first 5 minutes of the first half, and I think you could argue they have been the better side in the first 5 minutes of the second half as well.
And Manike wins another header, Traeger on it.
To Vial. Up ahead to Okunlola. Vial again. Pop towards Traeger. Good work defensively, Jack McKenzie, to shield him away, and Lewis will pick it up.
What a ball from Johnny Vial, though. Just the little scoop right there over the line. Traeger wasn't able to play it off the first bounce. If he'd been able to read that better, that's a big opportunity for Tristan Traeger, but Johnny Vial making something out of nothing once again.
Carlton digs that away from Kennedy. Traeger poaching here, but it finds Coulson. McKenzie. This is Adam Emsley, the 17-year-old who was subbed on at halftime, playing ahead to Clarkson.
Great turn from Clarkson.
Leighton Clarkson now for Aberdeen with the cross that's canceled out by Tuamasi. Kennedy. And Noah Cobb is able to steer that towards Brick, and that'll be blocked out for goal kick. I think the reacting that Atlanta United has done in their own half today has to be pleasing to Jack Collison.
Yeah, I think the just ability to make up for mistakes. And Jack Collison's the kind of manager who doesn't have a problem with his players making mistakes. He wants them to play in the right way. He wants them to play in the way that they train. But he wants them to be able to handle adversity. It's one of the number one things that Jack talks about. And it's something that this team has done really well today.
Sabatu earning a foul in the midfield.
The West Ham legend, Jack Collison, Welsh national team. Really been impressed with how he's handled managing the second team here for Atlanta United, because this year was a real challenge with all the injuries that the first team suffered. He didn't have many of the experienced pros available. There's a lot of academy guys, and they've played their way out of trouble once again.
Vial stood up by Kennedy. Good play.
Kennedy had read that book once or twice before. Vial with the step overs wasn't able to pull it off that time.
Alan Carlton, though, breaking up the counter somewhat now. Clarkson plays it ahead towards Morris. Corner.
And Manike shut it down. He's only able to block that out for a corner. See if Aberdeen can take advantage of a set piece here.
Emsley not a diminutive target inside the 6. Milne coming forward now. So is Watkins.
McCrory very good in the air as well.
Here's Kennedy.
Headed away by Traeger.
I was going to say, well defended by Traeger. Vial nearly scooped that away from Morris. Carlton will give the throw.
First time I've had a chance to see Alan Carlton play kind of in a double pivot with Emenike, playing deeper in the midfield. He's been up for the fight. He's been up for the defensive side of that.
Kennedy. Traeger deflects. It's kept alive, though, by Clarkson. Leighton Clarkson stuffed and cleared up to Tumasi. Now it is Okunlola. Up ahead to Luke Brennan. Advantage being played to Atlanta United. Luke Brennan. Vial. Up ahead to Sabatu. And nothing really developed at the end of that for Atlanta United.
Sabatu needed to be moving early there. Vial wants to play him in. I think he weighted the pass well. I think Sabatu just a step late on the reaction. Okunlola was shoved down in the center circle by Watkins as Atlanta was able to break once again.
And Tumasi doing everything he can to earn possession and finally does so by getting the foul. I think objectively, this has been an even match, maybe slightly tilted towards Atlanta United.
It's been a good competitive match, and that's what both teams really needed out of it.
Vial body checked by Milne, and that is a foul and a yellow on Jack Milne.
Well, that's frustration after chasing Johnny Vial all over the pitch today. Milne, who has maybe 7 or 8 inches on him. Didn't want to chase him that time.
Vial was recently in camp for the Mexican U18s.
He's been part of a couple camps with them this summer. Vial, a local Atlanta product, played for the Alianza Soccer Club in Atlanta before joining Atlanta United's academy very early on.
What a play there by Luke Brennan to earn a throw. And Atlanta United will try to make the most of this here in the 57th minute. Sabatu. Milne draped all over him. Sabatu dribbles out and puts a cross into Traeger that's cleared by McKenzie. Emenike now. Emenike. And that pass for Vial knocked away by Kennedy. Here's Aberdeen countering with Watkins.
Good first touch from Watkins to evade pressure.
Kennedy making a long run down the central channel as Duke has it now. Here's Duke. Noah Cobb does well to knock it out for a throw.
Duke was able to chop that back on Cobb the first time. Nice recovery from Noah Cobb to clear it out for the throw. Both teams with multiple players up, warming up. Probably see some subs here in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Duke played back to him now at the edge of the 18. Noah Cobb deflects that to Guerra.
Fancy footwork from Duke, but the chance doesn't come off.
Tristan Traeger now.
I like that distribution from Guerra.
Sabatu, that is off of McCrory for an Atlanta throw. And it's Sabatu. Sabatu. Doing well to knock that back to Alan Carlton. Up to Vial. Offside is Vial. Free kick to Aberdeen. 2 Aberdeen subs getting ready to come on, and we'll have that right now.
Not sure if the subs board was charged up for the second half. There it is.
It is not illuminated, however. Well,
there we go.
Yes. So Dylan Lobin is coming on for Shaden Morris here in the 59th minute. Lobin, 17 years old, Scotch national. And Findlay Marshall, 16-year-old Scottish national, coming on as well.
Two members of the U18s for Aberdeen. Loban's the captain for the U18s. He spent time training with the first team, so he's interacted with the core of the players on the pitch. Marshall, one of the younger players that made the trip with Aberdeen from Stonehaven, Scotland, joined the club at U12. It's always been one of the leaders kind of rising up the age groups. So two young players, but two players with that kind of leadership character coming into the match for Aberdeen.
Blustery afternoon here in Marietta, Georgia. The sun begins to set. Turn the lights on here at the training ground. Jack McKenzie working with McCrory now. Traeger, though, poaching. Traeger committing a foul. Findlay Marshall to Kennedy. Away from Emenike. Kennedy now. He's made a couple probing runs down the central channel.
Love Matty Kennedy on the ball.
Here's McKenzie. Emsley plays it back to McKenzie now in the corner, and that's knocked out for a corner by Tumasi.
Emsley, quick 1-2, played back down the line. Tumasi with the recovery to head that out.
So by my count, this is the fourth corner of the match for Aberdeen. And Atlanta United's dealt with the first three relatively well. Loban is a short corner option, so a different look here for Aberdeen. Kennedy knocked away at the near post by Noah Cobb. The Vial neatly plays it to Brick. It's going to be a throw to Atlanta here. Good work again defending the corners by Atlanta United.
Yeah, Carlton was able to weave through some traffic. Vial takes a hit, no foul. But Noah Cobb, once again defensively, mentioned the leadership from Loban coming in for Aberdeen as a young player. Noah Cobb is really growing into a leader, having that kind of mentality on his back line. Another big play from Cobb. Usually it's the commentator's curse. That one actually worked out.
Guerra playing it up to Emenike. Cobb. And that is overhit by Brick. Be a throw to Aberdeen. Atlanta United going to make some subs now. Here in the 62nd minute. Okunlola, who I thought was very good today, coming off for Sean Lanza, 16-year-old former Inter-Atlanta player. And Andrew Degan, a 19-year-old Trinidad national, coming on for Matthew Brick.
Yeah, I believe the right side's going to change here. Lanza came over from the Inter-Atlanta Youth Club, joined the Atlanta United Academy in 2020. Very attack-minded right back. He's got to defend now.
Emsley. Adam Emsley! Saved at the near post. Guerra conceding the corner. No, it's off the side of the net, excuse me.
Came off the post. Guerra wasn't able to get there. Emsley on the dribble, so shifty.
Well, that is a good play by Findlay Marshall. Aberdeen really on the front foot after the subs now. Here's Marshall. Blocked down at the near post by Cobb, who clears.
The young Aberdeen players coming in, the U18s, are having an amazing season for Aberdeen right now. They've really turned this game.
I'm really impressed by Findlay Marshall playing on that right side. Here's Kennedy again. Ball rolls to Duke, ahead to Clarkson, and the shot by Emsley saved by Guerra.
Good footwork from Guerra, sliding across, able to make that save a little more comfortable than maybe it could have been. Get another look at the work coming from right to left from Aberdeen. Guerra was able to get a clean look at that the whole way. Again, the footwork sliding across. You don't have to make the big diving spectacular save if you have that kind of good footwork.
Noah Cobb going long, too long. Down the left wing, the idea applauded by Luke Brennan. Goal kick to Aberdeen here. We're in the 64th minute of a scoreless match.
The wind is picking up even more, and it's blowing really at the Atlanta United's back.
McCrory being chased by Traeger. Finley Marshall. Brennan very nearly dispossessed him. It's a throw to Aberdeen. You wonder if the Aberdeen players, when they were told of the opportunity to have a midseason training camp in Georgia, if they were promised 70-degree weather with sunny skies and very little humidity. They're
Look
not
at
getting
Johnny
it today. Traeger. Lanza. Nicely done by McKenzie.
Yeah, Aberdeen missed the good weather by about a week.
The weather really turned here in Atlanta last Saturday.
Foul in the backwatch being brought back.
That's right, it's on Atlanta. Drawn by Leighton Clarkson. Well, Aberdeen will remain here in Atlanta until Monday, and then their players are going to get 10 days off. They'll reconvene in early December, and then league play resumes on December 17th in Scotland. Finley Marshall playing that into the box. A deflected shot has to be parried away and out for a corner by Guerra.
That deflection made it a little awkward here. Guerra is able to palm that away.
Does feel like maybe the dam about to burst for Atlanta United.
It was nice work from Lobin in that build-up as well for Aberdeen. Like Lobin's really brought a lot to the Dons here in the second half.
Sent in by Kennedy. They play deep, and there's the shot. Score! A golazo by Leighton Clarkson. Aberdeen has the 1-0 lead.
One straight from the training ground. After sending all the previous corners into the 18, looking for the header, this one played to the top of the 18 and struck so sweetly by Leighton Clarkson. Get another look at it now. Kennedy just sets it up on a platter for Clarkson. The Liverpool loanee, 4 goals in all competitions this season. Perfect strike to open the scoring.
Yeah, beautiful goal by Clarkson. Really fair play to Aberdeen since making the subs, introducing Finley Marshall and Dylan Lobin. That has really put the match on tilt in favor of Aberdeen, and now they have the lead to show for it. I think, though, again, Jack Collison has to be very pleased with the way his team has held up here in the first 70 minutes.
Oh, 100%. But now this is what he wants to see. He wants to see how they respond. They've stood toe-to-toe with Aberdeen the whole way. Number of Aberdeen players with far more experience than the Atlanta United side today. But you've given up a goal. Now you're down 1-0. Can you go turn the game around?
Aberdeen looking for a second. So pinballs to Kennedy. Turned to him by Alfie Babbage, who has come on. Babbage, the 16-year-old. We'll play back to Joe Lewis.
Babbage, another one of the homegrown talents for Aberdeen.
So if you're keeping track, Aberdeen now with only 2 unused players in this friendly, Johnny Hayes and Liam Harvey.
Blair McKenzie was also available on the bench. And we didn't expect to see Hayes dealing with a hamstring injury. Maybe for a bit, probably not needed.
Noah Cobb. That is intercepted by Emsley. Lobin. McKenzie. Joe Lewis. To Mossy. Pop forward by Emenike to Lanza, Sean Lanza.
It's good work from Lanza in tight quarters there to find a way out.
Well, sustained possession here for Atlanta United with Alan Carlton to Mossy. Going back to the keeper, Guerra. Cleanly beaten on the goal by Clarkson. That is Sabatu earning a foul in the midfield. It's been a productive day, I would say, for Sabatu and for Vial, though the chances are becoming a little harder to discover here in the late going. Jack Collison will make a change and take Sabatu off now for Jorge Sandoval, 17-year-old from Johnson High School in Gainesville.
Yeah, good 70 minutes for Sabatu. Had a great start to his kind of post-academy time with Atlanta United in USL Championship last year. Had an injury late in 2021. He's back to his best now in 2023. Could be a really big year for Daniel Sabatu.
This is McCrory. Oh, nutmegs Emenike and comes forward now, playing ahead to Alfie Babbage. That deflects off of Tumasi, but the keeper, Guerra, trying to claim it off his line. And McCrory a little bit frustrated that he couldn't put a cross in.
McCrory, when he dribbles out of the back, just changes everything. It destabilizes the opponent. And Aberdeen does a good job. They're organized to cover for that.
Sandoval's first touch. Alonzo combines with Vial.
Excited to see Sandoval in this one. He's a player that I've seen in multiple high school matches with Johnson High School up in Gainesville. Won a state championship last year. So technical, so good with the ball at his feet. He's on the right side, but he'll cut in on his left and go to goal if he gets the opportunity.
It's a nice little fake by Guerra. I think it had Clarkson fooled.
Nice work on the dribble by Emenike as well.
And now a chance developing, but a bad bounce for Luke Brennan. Less than 20 minutes to play. Aberdeen with a 1-0 lead.
The sun wants to come out now? Really?
Not going to help us this time of day. It's a good stab by Noah Cobb. Duke running it down under pressure from Carlton. Kennedy. Clarkson. McCrory. I'll roll that to Jack Milne. Plays a long diagonal up for Emsley, but it's knocked down by Alonzo. Duke to Marshall. Joe Lewis. McCrory. McKenzie squaring to Clarkson, who's going to go over the top now for Emsley. Well played, though, by Tumasi. Lanza digging for it, but it deflects off Sandoval for an Aberdeen throw.
It's the difference in speed and strength at this level. Lanza with a nice idea. He's trying to touch that out wide and run around to get to it. Not able to beat somebody like Jack McKenzie in that situation.
Emenike and McKenzie duel. And it's going to be Atlanta earning the throw. Vial then shot down by Clarkson. Yellow shown to McKenzie. It'll be a free kick to Atlanta United. I would not have guessed when we came here today that we would have a friendly with 5 bookings in the first hour and 15 minutes.
Shows the nature of the competitiveness of this one. Vial's a player who's gotten under the skin at times of Aberdeen. He's been so difficult to deal with in the middle of the park. I think you see it on that foul. Very late catching him. That's one of the next steps for Johnny Vial as well. You know, I mean, his size and his stature is no secret. He's a small player. He's incredibly talented. He's going to get beat up in games at times. He's got to be able to handle it. He's got to be able to protect himself as well.
Well, again, that goes to the Luciano Acosta comparison that you made earlier. Undersized players in North America, I feel especially, really do take the brunt of physical play. Fortunately, though, Vial appears to be okay, and he'll play on here as we're in the 75th minute.
Yeah, I think he was frustrated as much as he was maybe in pain from that challenge.
Zelyaskov, the referee, had an extended discussion with McKenzie as play resumes.
Alexander Zelyaskov might have said, look, I have a red card. I don't want to use it. Can we please just get through the rest of this?
Again, I think Zelyaskov's done a very good job managing the emotion. I think even for the referees, you don't expect such chippiness in a friendly. Although, then again, I mean, I'll say in the preseason, we've seen Atlanta United go down to Mexico and play some very physical matches.
Yeah, chippiness, I want to be clear. I don't think it's like cynical. I don't think it's dirty. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's chippy because it's competitive.
Yeah.
I think it's chippy because it's a good match. It's been a good matchup. It hasn't been easy for anybody.
No, that's for sure. The foul on Vial will set up a free kick for Aberdeen. I would
That's the frustration from Vial there.
But I would venture to guess, to your point, Aberdeen in the post-match, their players will probably indicate that this was a very tough, sometimes frustrating match for them today. As Vial tries to spring a counter for Atlanta United, and he's cut down by Leighton Clarkson.
I mean, I've not been keeping track of how many times Johnny Vial has been fouled, but we're getting close to the 7, 8, 9 mark.
Now he's testing Babbage. As Tumasi squares to Noah Cobb.
Look, it's twofold with Vial because he's got to learn to play faster at times to not have that contact happen. But also he's got to be protected.
It's a nice little ball by Sandoval to connect with Lanza. Now Vial. Ahead to Carlton. Look back to Vial. Carlton again to Noah Cobb.
Carlton's got that technical ability to play out of tight spaces as well.
Tristan Traeger now on the left side for Atlanta United as it's dropped back to Carlton. Going over the top and over hit for Luke Brennan. Lewis with the easy play. Finley Marshall to Kennedy. McCrory to McKenzie. Kennedy. I think one of Aberdeen's better players today has been Kennedy. Clarkson, the goal scorer, playing it back to Kennedy, and now here's Lobin. Dylan Lobin to Finley Marshall. Will be a throw to Aberdeen. The goal coming in the 67th minute off a well-worked free kick by Leighton Clarkson. Aberdeen has outshot Atlanta United by quite a wide margin. In fact, I believe Atlanta has only one shot on the match, none in the second half. That's Kennedy looking for McKenzie. Stuck away, though, nicely by Emenike. Traeger spins it ahead to Vial. Vial pivots past McKenzie, goes down the middle for Emenike. Emenike with a shot, and there is the first save of the game for Joe Lewis in the 79th minute.
Ends up being pretty comfortable for Lewis. Emenike scuffs it a bit.
Meanwhile, Brennan is down, and play is stopped so he can be attended to.
More subs for Aberdeen as well.
Liam Harvey coming on for Duke. Harvey, the 17-year-old.
Blair McKenzie checking in for Jack Milne. So Aberdeen goes from Milne at 6'4", who's a converted central midfielder to a center back, to bringing on McKenzie, who's 6'7", a converted left back playing center back.
And Aberdeen's also going to make a goalkeeper change, bringing on Blessing Olyemi, who's currently a U18 player for Aberdeen.
So a number of these U18s who have advanced in the Scottish Youth Cup, they have some big games coming up. This is a huge opportunity for them to get this taste mixed in with some first-team players. Olyemi has trained with the first-team goalkeepers for about a year now.
Brennan, meanwhile, has come off for Atlanta. Gabe Nickerson, the 17-year-old from Roswell High School, has come on for Atlanta United here in the 80th minute.
Nickerson has emerged with the Atlanta U19s in the UPSL. Has 5 goals this season with the U19s. Came over from the UFA Youth Club. Vial still on the ball, just pulling it back, keeping possession, opening up attacks.
And here's Vial with a shot from distance that tests Olyemi.
Not enough power on that one. Olyemi's able to get down quickly. You like to test a new goalkeeper coming in immediately.
So in that sense, it was a good idea by Vial. Jack Collison has called the remainder of his outfield subs back into the technical area. So I believe Atlanta United is done making changes for this match.
Nelson Orji was one who was on the bench, but he's just coming back from an injury.
Nick Firmino was rostered for this match, but unable to play today. Handball here on Babbage. It'll be a free kick to Atlanta. I was a little curious if we would see A.J. Pama today, the 18-year-old from Canton, Georgia, who's actually a captain for one of the academy teams for Atlanta United.
Yeah, Pama's a player who had some opportunities with Feyenoord in the Netherlands. Father Alex Pama, longtime Atlanta area youth coach. He's been with the U19s as well this season.
Vial.
About 8 minutes to go find an equalizer for this young Atlanta side.
Carlton. Vial. Carlton again. Vial. Back to Carlton. Good interplay with those two. Carlton going into the corner for Sandoval. Here is Sandoval. Sandoval getting a cross in, but no one to put it in. Goal kick.
Jorge Sandoval is able to ride off that first challenge, keep his balance, get it on his favored left foot. I think he wanted to go to goal, but it never opened up for that.
Chance here off the right side for Aberdeen. Carlton briefly got that away from Emsley, and it deflects out for an Atlanta United throw.
They weren't able to find Babbage that time, but as he took off and wanted that ball played to the back post, it was eventually played in behind the space that he left. He's so explosive, so quick in those tight spaces.
Turning on this is Kennedy. He's played the full match and has played well. Kennedy.
Good from Carlton to just kind of shepherd him out wide. Don't give him a look at goal.
Now here's Emsley. Emsley with a cross that Guerra has marked. Finley Marshall puts it back in. Babbage loses the aerial to Tumasi. Vial trying to spring a counter now for Atlanta United, and does so as he plays it up to Tristan Traeger. Traeger off of McCrory and into the corner.
Vial was brought down again behind the play. Advantage was played.
Vial again. So we're about to cross into the 85th minute. Atlanta United trying to find the equalizer.
Saw a little of that La Pausa from Vial, just putting his foot on the ball, letting things kind of revolve around him and pick the pass that he wants.
This is played up to Vial. Front back to Noah Cobb. To Masi. Guerra now playing way off his line. So he starts this up to Cobb. Traeger pops that to Vial. Back to Traeger. Tristan Traeger. Gabe Nickerson. Well defended by Matty Kennedy and Aberdeen.
Just a little behind Nickerson. He wasn't able to make anything of it. The final ball in the final third for Atlanta is what's been lacking today.
This finds Vial again. Vial. Vial's going to go all the way in and then taken off it by Lobin. The shot then deflects off of the keeper, Oyemi.
Vial found that again after it looked like he had lost it. He ends up getting on it and gets the left-footed shot saved by Oyemi.
Atlanta United really on the front foot here in the 86th minute. Emenike sending it up to Vial again. Stabbed away by McKenzie. Good play. McKenzie, though, fouling Vial. And Atlanta United will have a chance to go for goal here in the 86th minute.
Yeah, McKenzie's able to block the first one, but then he just wrestles Vial down to the ground as Vial's trying to scramble back to get to that to have a look at goal.
I'll say this about Vial. For a friendly, he has really thrown everything he can into this match today from a physical standpoint.
It's an opportunity to prove that he can play at the next level. And that's what any of these young players, so many teenagers on the pitch today for both teams, that's what they're here for. And Vial is showing not just that he has the ability to do it, but that he has the mentality to do it. He is trying to carry this team back into this and find an equalizer. It's been really impressive the last 5-10 minutes from Vial.
And here's where conditions become a little bit interesting, because Oyemi is going to have to deal with some sun glare here as Aberdeen sets their wall up for this free kick.
Andrew Degon with the left foot, Carlton with the right. Emenike might have wanted to have a crack at that.
Vial hobbles over to the touchline. This is Carlton. Traeger tries to flick that off the line. He was unsuccessful. It's goal kick.
Good delivery from Alan Carlton. Gave an opportunity there on the back post that Atlanta United couldn't take advantage of.
Vial hobbling along the touchline and now is back on, so we're back to 11 aside.
Yeah, he's not going to let this match finish out without getting back on the pitch.
That's Carlton winning the aerial over Lobin. Deflects to Cobb. Guerra, Babbage approaching. Carlton earning a foul in the midfield. It's on the goal scorer, Leighton Clarkson.
Glad we're not keeping track of the fouls. There's been a lot of them.
Here's Traeger. Carlton.
Great ball.
Good ball up ahead to Vial. Sprinting down the central channel, Nickerson. It's Vial. Vial to the edge of the 6. That is going to be a throw to Atlanta.
Johnny Vial on the dribble, leaving players in his wake, but couldn't make the final pass.
89th minute. Atlanta United in search of the equalizer on a day where it feels like they're worthy of a draw.
Long throw here from Emenike. Twumasi comes up into the 18-yard box.
They go to the front post for Cobb, but it's knocked away nicely by Marshall. Throw to Atlanta. Traeger. Oh, good play over on the touchline by Matty Kennedy.
Emenike tried to knock that forward, but Aberdeen handles it well, and they have an opportunity for a counter.
Lobin up ahead now to Emsley. Offside.
I've been impressed with Lobin and Emsley. What's been so good about this one today, and I hope everybody, whether you're an Atlanta United fan or an Aberdeen fan, I hope you've appreciated the young talent that both clubs have on display. It's why a partnership between these two clubs makes complete sense, because both want to develop homegrown players that play with personality, that play with character, that can win games on their own. You're seeing it with Vial, you're seeing it with Emsley, you're seeing it with Lobin.
Last gasp here for Atlanta United. That's overhit for Traeger. I believe I saw the referee point for at least one added minute as we're about to move into stoppage time. Played no added time in the first half, but we are going to play one added minute here. Aberdeen trying to see it out in hopes of continuing what has been a productive week so far for them here in Atlanta. One last chance now for Garrett to start a counter for Atlanta United. Here's Noah Cobb. Down the middle for Vial. Spiked away McCrory to Kennedy. Clarkson. Pops off of Cobb and then cleaned up by Emenike.
Maybe one more opportunity here.
Garrett, good distribution up to Gabe Nickerson. This is driven in the direction of Traeger and is knocked down by Marshall. And that might get us to the end. Babbage. Emenike hunting for the ball, concedes the throw. Seconds to play here in this friendly between Atlanta United and Aberdeen, and it looks like the visitors are going to leave with the 1-0 win. Thrown into Babbage. Carlton and Dagon trying to win the ball. They do. It rolls up to Vial. Almost threaded that through to Traeger, but calmly played away by McCrory. And that is it. A really good performance by both sides. Very entertaining, friendly. The young Atlanta United second-teamers and academy players gave Aberdeen all they could handle this afternoon, but a quality goal off a corner by Leighton Clarkson in the 67th minute gives Aberdeen the 1-0 victory.
A great goal from Clarkson. I think a great performance from Ross McCrory and Matty Kennedy leading the way for Aberdeen. And I thought a great performance from the young Atlanta United players as well. The young talent on display from both teams should make both sets of fans really excited about what's to come for both of these teams. Aberdeen will stay here and train for a few more days. They'll get a break before getting back into league play. These Atlanta United Academy players still have games to play in 2022 as well, but a number of them may be trying to get on that preseason list for Atlanta United's first team, as that's going to start mid-January.
And for those of you who joined us from across the pond this evening, we were honored to bring this to you. I know Jason and I don't sound exactly like what you might be used to, but we appreciate the pleasure of being in your living rooms this evening. And we really enjoy in Atlanta this partnership between Atlanta United and Aberdeen, one that I think will continue to blossom over the years.
Yeah, special shout out to the Tenerife Dons in Spain watching at Zizi's.
Tenerife.
Hey.
Bet you it's a lot warmer in Tenerife than it is here.
I'll bet you it is. The Dons have fans worldwide, a lot of them here in Atlanta supporting their team and clapping them off.
Absolutely. Very special, I'm sure, for many expats to be here in the United States and see Aberdeen make a rare appearance in the United States. And hopefully this will not be the last time that we see Atlanta United and Aberdeen play in a friendly, and I doubt that it will be. Well, now for Atlanta United, a break for the Thanksgiving holiday. The first teamers will report to training camp relatively soon, early January. And the MLS season will begin in the final week of February. It's going to be a long season, and there's not going to be a shortage of soccer after the World Cup. It won't be long after the World Cup when Atlanta United's first team convenes for training camp. That'll do it for this afternoon in Marietta, Georgia. For Jason Longshore, I'm Mike Conti. Thank you for joining us as Aberdeen defeats Atlanta United 1-0.
Confidence. It's more than what you know. It's having the right information at the right time. Developing the right strategy for your business. Providing the right solutions for your people. Seeing the right vision for your future. And knowing when to seek the right expertise. When you have knowledge, you have confidence. Doing business the Gallagher way since 1927.